All right. I think we're all set now. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Soul Commodore again. Sorry I'm a little late today. Just had some technical difficulties. Well, not really technical difficulties. I had another painting hanging here, and as I was getting everything set up, I realized, just as I finished setting everything up and was ready to go live, oh, I've got the wrong painting behind me. So I just took that down and rolled it up. So we're going to put the painting that we are actually working on. I'm going to put that up on the wall. I'm going to go about here, I think. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday so far. Come on, get in there. There we go. Hope everyone's had a nice weekend, been able to recuperate from the week that was. We had a nice get-together with some friends of ours yesterday. It's a nice little dinner. Okay, I'm going to close this window because there's a little bit too much glare on this side of the painting. There we go. That's better. I'm still going to get some glare here, but that's what happens, I guess. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day so far, and we're just going to be working on this. So, we got our paints ready, and we got our brushes, and I think we're all set to go. Yes, indeed. All right. We'll just take the plastic off this paint. Put that there like usual. And what color are we going to work with first? I think I'm going to shore up this here, the doorway. So let's get that together. Okay. So we're going to need our black and red again. So we'll put that together. There we go. And we'll put some red on the palette here. Just some for now. We'll put on some more later. Alright, here we go. And we're going to do some details, so we're going to get a smaller brush. Because we're not looking to cover a huge amount of space with what we're going to be starting with. There we go. Alright. Yeah, because this space here is a little bit too light for the amount of light that's actually going to be hitting it. It should be lighter than the black that's in the background, right? But it should be It should be darker than the shade that it is right now. So we're going to fix that. Come up here and put that in just like so. Yeah, I hope everybody's having a nice day. We got a whole bunch of snow yesterday, which was a surprise, because I went to go get my brakes done, and when I left, it hadn't started snowing yet. It wasn't until I got closer to the city that I was like, "Ooh, okay." Snow started falling while I was on the highway, and I was like, "Well, it's a good thing I'm getting my brakes done today." They'll get a nice workout as soon as they come out. Brakes are one of those things that I want to learn how to like I've watched videos, but I really want to try putting my own brakes on. But I'll probably wait for, some warmer weather to do that. Plus, I've got new brakes that have a year-long warranty on them, so I probably won't have to change my brakes for a while. So, okay, that looks better. I'm going to introduce just a little bit more lightness to this end of it, but nothing too drastic. There we go. Now, I think the next step is we're going to slightly repaint the inside of this doorway. We're going to make it nice, deep, dark black. Wash off my brush. Actually, I'm going to get a slightly larger straight brush. Make this process a little bit easier. Hey Ulrich, how's it going? How's it going? Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. We're just working on this new piece here. Just laying in some groundwork. But it's good to see you. I'm going to bring the camera a little bit closer. Not that close to me. Just more into the painting. There we go. So yeah, we're gonna just get in here and paint this a nice deep dark black. Actually, it doesn't. At least I found that it doesn't. The canvas gets a little heavier, but I think part of the reason too is like because I use acrylic, and acrylic is, you know, plasticky. It actually keeps some of its pliability and stretch. Yeah, it actually doesn't affect the canvas much at all, I find. Oh, also, thank you for the follow, Ulrich. I appreciate that. I got that in my notifications when I opened up MooBot today to sort of like track the stream. But I appreciate that. But yeah, if I mean, the painting probably does make the canvas a little bit stiffer, but not to any sort of like, it's pretty negligible when it comes to actually stretching it on the canvas, on the stretcher, I should say. Plus, it allows me the freedom, because I don't always have like wood available, like because I have to go out and buy the wood for the stretchers, and I don't always have that readily available. So this kind of allows me the freedom to still paint whatever I want and then buy the wood afterwards. Hey, that's fair enough. You got to do what you got to do, you know. I don't begrudge anybody doing that. I'm just glad you're back. So we're just doing this nice deep dark black, and I've said it before, but I know some people who are new might still be confused because it looks like I'm just painting black on black, which technically I am, but what I'm doing is I'm just making a deeper black so that you can really visually collapse into this space, and like there's just nothing back there. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like that other painting. And yes, this one, this one is dark. This is one of the darker ones that I've done. Well, we will be lightening one or two areas of it, just a tad. But yeah, the base of this painting is very dark. Get in here. This is again based on a reference photo that I took. Gosh, must have been like months ago actually, like during the summer. While I was walking past a school that's in our neighborhood. And the basic structure of the painting is going to be similar to the reference photo that I took, but we're going to be adding a few elements to increase the drama and the mystique and the mood a little bit. We're almost done with this doorway. And then we're going to be adding a few elements to the outside on the door frame. Just shoring some things up. And I know on camera this doesn't look the blackest black, just because we don't... the light in the ceiling of this room is, you know, one of the old... It's an LED light, but it's the warm yellow kind of color, you know. So that throws off the lighting a bit. Plus, it throws some glare on the canvas, because I don't have good lighting yet. But that will come. That will come one day. We're inching ever closer to being somewhat of a professional channel. Not even professional, just, you know, like we know what we're doing. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hopping on here and painting. I'm just riffing with y'all. Okay. So it looks pretty good. Let me get some more black. And just kind of blur this border down here. Let me know if the music is too low. If there's anything else going on with the audio. Last time we got together, there were some audio issues because I forgot to turn my microphone off from my laptop, so there was a little bit of an echo. Yeah, lighting is important. But we'll, hopefully you get your lighting situation sorted out before too long. There we go. So we're gonna let that dry, which shouldn't take too long, and it should lose some of its not gloss, but some of the glare should go away, and then we'll be all set. Yeah, that would be nice. I know exactly what you mean. That would be nice to have. I'd love to have that too. You know, just so that like here it's not too bad, but like I still, like if I could get lighting in a way where I'm not casting any shadow on the painting, not even just for like streaming, but just in general, like that would be wonderful. Okay. Just need to raise you up a little bit. We'll use this. An old laptop box. Please excuse me while I just get the camera situated. There we go. Looks better. Alright. I just washed the brush that we're going to need. So. Oh yeah, no, that's for sure. Yeah, I do a lot of dark paintings just because I like dark things. I like mysterious things. I like things that make people uncomfortable. I mean, my favorite genre of movie is horror movies, and I also really like film noir, and I like documentary films that are on like kind of like like true crime and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like with some of my work, that's kind of leaked through, and here we are, working on very dark pieces. The last piece we did on the channel actually was kind of the opposite. It was actually very light. It was a rainy day that I was depicting, but it was a lighter painting. But yeah, the dark ones, there's just something about the dark and the fact that the dark hides things, and that's where a lot of people's fear of the dark comes from. It's not the dark itself, it's what the dark conceals. So that's always kind of interested me. And then beyond that, I'm a night owl, so I like the night, and I like just kind of viewing the world through that kind of lens, like a darker lens, if you will. This series, actually, I would say this series that I'm doing here is actually a pretty good mix of light and dark. It's about as close to a 50-50 split as you can get, I think. And it'll probably end up being that way on the whole once it's all completed. But yeah, I'm a fan of dark things, I guess. Yeah. I don't know if I've felt safer, but I do feel kind of a comfort in the dark. So I get where you're coming from. Yeah, there's just sort of like a mystique to the dark that I really enjoy. And in this particular series, it probably doesn't completely reflect in the series as a whole, but in this painting, for sure, in this particular painting, I kind of want that uneasy feeling to come through. What's up, Zoe? Welcome on in. Thank you for trying out the emotes. That's right. I forgot to mention, I finally got some subscriber emotes. They're not any that I created. I'm still working on those, but I put some placeholders in. But welcome on in, Zell. How's your day going? And yes, there is a hole in my wall. I'm working on getting it patched up. What makes it funny, I think, Ulrich, is I really like all these dark things, but I'm not like I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky person. I'm not really a pessimist. I'm an optimist. I'm a realist. I'm a realist optimist. I realize that a lot of things aren't great, but I hope for the best anyway. I'm very selectively cynical. Like, you know, there are certain things that I'm pretty cynical about. Like the housing market. But on the whole, I'd say I'm a pretty positive person. But someone probably wouldn't guess that from some of the paintings that I've done. Which I also kind of like that that little dichotomy. I like that, you know. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I just have a fascination with the dark. Um, and actually not even so much dark, even though I do quite like the dark. What I also like is, because a lot of my older stuff had a lot more contrast than this painting does, so you'd have like, you know, areas of dark and then just like a whole bunch of like light just kind of flooding the space in certain areas. So I also like, it also comes out of a sort of me playing with light and like practicing light techniques and seeing what I could do with it. You know. So it sort of comes out of that too. And it also comes out like this, not this particular series, but the next one I'm going to be working on delves more into this. But I also like the dark because it reminds me of like, I like taking walks at night. And I like seeing what people are doing. Like if I walk past a house at like 2 a.m. and, you know, their kitchen light is still on, or, you know, they've got a bedroom light on, or you can see that they're watching TV. It's like, I wonder what they're doing up so late. You know, like it's a little window into a life that you'll never be able to really peer into. So my next series is going to, after this one, is going to kind of delve into that a little. I've got all these ideas for like series in my head, and it's like I should probably finish a couple of them first. Hey, Blue Bubble, welcome on in. Yes, new a new piece. As Ulrich was saying, it's a little bit darker. It's a little and by a little bit, I mean a lot. So we're just playing with some new stuff. Stylistically, it's going to be the same, like it's going in the same series as the last painting. So it's going to have like kind of that glitchy after effect applied to it once the base is done. But yeah, we're working on something new today. Yeah. Okay. So now I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to yeah, sure. Which image? The reference image for this one, or the last one we were working on? Oop, that's not the color I wanted. I wanted this. Oh, the reference, yes. Yeah. Now this is going to be a little hard to see because it is dark, but this is the reference image, which I took. I was just walking past a school again at like 1 a.m, and it's just sort of some lights from the exit sign, and no other lights, and I thought it was kind of intriguing. So. Yeah, no worries, Ulrich. I appreciate you still being tuned in while you're doing that. So yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, it is kind of sinister. So yeah, I took that at a school just around the corner from us, and then I'll be adding some things to it to maybe up the sinister quality. Again, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, Danny, thank you for the lurk. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Which is like, yeah, it's Google. Google and the NSA. They're watching you. Okay. That might be a little bit too red there, but we'll figure it out. I do want this corner to be a little bit more red. Just because it's the closest corner to the exit light. So we'll kind of diffuse that out. I think next time we'll, because I just realized this is like the 5th or 6th stream in a row that I've used this playlist, the Cozy Winter playlist. I think next time we get together I might change it up a bit. It'll still be lo-fi, kind of chill music, but lo-fi chill music that's free, so that free from copyright, so that we don't get any parts of this thing muted or any of that fun stuff. But yeah, if anyone knew, one of the people in the chat, Ulrich, he was asking me, or they were asking me, I should say, because I don't know. They were asking me what, because the painting's so dark, if I could speak to that a little. And, you know, I just have a fascination with dark things. I like what the dark hides, what the dark conceals. You know, but again, a big part of it too is playing with light in dark spaces. Like for instance, I'm going to turn the camera real quick. This is an old painting I did. This painting is from a solo show that I had done. Entitled, well, this painting is entitled Adjacent. But that's a painting that I did a couple of years ago. And what really fascinated me with it is, you know, playing with light, because the entire space is dark except for that one light coming from that one room that's adjacent to the wall that we're looking at, right? So I really like playing with light and dark. And even if there's not a whole lot of light in the space, like this picture, the only light that we see is this red glow on the wall from the exit sign, right? There's not a whole lot of light, but I like the challenge of working with that kind of limitation, because there is light. Like if there wasn't, you wouldn't be able to see anything, right? So I like the idea of playing with that too. When you have more of a diffused source of light that's just kind of like there but not there, you know? So I'm kind of challenging myself with that, with this painting. And I'm liking how it's turning out so far. This is about the third time that we've done this wall, and we'll probably do it a few more times until I get the exact look that I want. But we're getting there. We're getting closer. We are getting closer. But yeah, I like playing with the idea of something hiding in the dark, and we have to kind of uncover through viewing the painting. We have to uncover what it is that we're looking at. I need a little bit more red paint. I was also saying in the last stream that another challenge of this painting that's really great is more of a technical challenge. For whatever reason, I find red to be the hardest color to work with for me. I don't know why, but I find red so challenging. But that's part of the fun in doing this as well, is I get to see if I can kind of tame it a little bit and get what I want out of the red. But yeah, I find red to be the hardest to work with. And in that thread, I did ask the chat what their the hardest color for them to work with. So if you're an artist of any kind, regardless of medium, whether it's digital art or watercolor or graphic design or whatever, it's just what color do you hate working with? Because for me, I don't know that I hate working with red, but it's the most difficult. So I guess I'll work. What's the most difficult color you've found to work with? Because yeah, mine's definitely red. Also, if you're not an artist, you could also just put in the chat, like a visual artist, I should say, like someone who works in a visual medium. You could also just put in the chat what your least favorite color is. Because my least favorite color is actually purple. Which is funny, because my favorite basketball team, the Phoenix Suns, one of their primary colors is purple. And I went to a university whose primary color is purple. But doesn't mean I have to like it. Yeah, Danny? Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I do, like, if the purple is more on the end of, like, indigo or, like, a deep violet, like, I can tolerate it. And to be fair, like, the Phoenix Sun's purple is, like, that deeper, like, indigo, like, closer to violet. But any purple that, like, crosses the edge over into, like, turning more into, like, a pinkish red, that's not the purple for me. You know what it is, too? Like, I just find the color kind of... This is going to be weird, but I'll attempt to explain myself. I find the color kind of goofy. Like, it's just a goofy color, purple. And I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But it's just I don't know. I just find it kind of a goofy color. Like, if I'm wearing something purple, I feel like, I don't know. I didn't do a very good job of explaining how I felt there, but... Yeah, red. I'm glad you find red hard to work with, too. Like, I think this red is so dominant. It's like, you have to, like, for me with my paintings, like, especially, like, something like this, like, I gotta tone it down. Right? I am goofy, Ulrich. I am a very goofy person. But yeah, purple is not my favorite color. Not my favorite color in the world. That's okay. Like I said, anybody can comment on it. But that's fair. I'm glad some people like purple. When I was a kid, just to be different, I used to say that my favorite color was beige. Just because, you know, look at how smart I am. I know what beige is. Younger me was so silly. Now my favorite color is black. Surprise, surprise. I mean, look at this canvas. And I know technically black is a shade, but it's still my favorite color. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Orange is one of your favorites. Hey, fair enough. Orange is a good color. Orange is a good color. And I think that's part of the reason why purple doesn't vibe with me so much, because you look at orange, and orange is like a perfect blend of red and yellow, right? Perfect blend. Green is a perfect blend of blue and yellow. Like, it's really distinctive, right? Purple is like you take the worst elements. You take the elements of red and blue and you kind of make them worse, you know? Red and blue are better, you know? Individually than they are when they're combined, in my idea. Well, thank you, Ulrich. I appreciate that. I'm glad the red and black looks good. Yeah, it's a hard combination of colors to get right. So I'm glad that it seems to be coming through. Yeah, so I'm guessing that Halloween stuff isn't the best visually for you, with the black and orange and the Cincinnati Bengals, because they're black and orange. Well, Ulrich, we're just gonna have to fight then. Like I said, out of all the purples, like violet, like I can stand violet. I can stand like the indigo, like the purples where you see more of the blue than the red. Those purples, I don't like them. Like I wouldn't wear that shirt, but I can stand them, right? It's the purples that are more on the red side that I really don't like at all. That's fair enough. Is there anything in particular about the black and orange together that you don't really like, or is it just like there's no rhyme and reason to it? It just doesn't vibe with you? Ah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I guess like when you combine the two together, like you have no choice but to think whatever it is involves Halloween, because Halloween's kind of it's got a monopoly on that color combination. That's true. Red and green does scream Christmas. Okay, so we did all that. Now we're gonna come down here and start working in here a bit and really defining this space, because there's stuff I want to do in here. That's fair. That's fair, Ulrich. Yeah, I'm not much of a fighter. Like Michael Jackson said, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Speaking of stuff I don't really like, I really don't like that song. The Girl Is Mine. I like Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney, but I much prefer their collaboration on Say, Say, Say than The Girl Is Mine. So let's, I'm just gonna lightly draw the border of this wall real quick. Just very lightly. Just so I can define where the wall is. Okay. Now, how is that red coming through here? The challenge here is because a lot of these reds are very similar, like here and here, that I don't want to muddle this too much, otherwise you're going to lose the edge of the door. And I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to introduce a little bit more black here, I think. And I'm going to try not to put my hand on the canvas while it's still wet. That would be a smart idea, to not do that. through here, pull this down. I'm just gonna fix something on my computer real quick. Just bear with me for a second. It's trying to auto update, and I would rather it not auto update, especially while I'm while I'm streaming. That's not it's not the best. Also, Uruk, I missed what you said earlier, that you find purple calming. That is fair. It is a very calming color. It is a very calming color. I have to give it props for that. So sorry, just bear with me. Just bear with me. Okay, there we go. Now my computer's behaving. Alright, now we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. Grab my straight edge again and make sure that I get this right. This angle, I mean. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sorry, I guess I was covering up everything I was doing there. I was just fixing this this angle on this wall because I had painted it a little bit too shallow. But now we're good. What do y'all got planned for the rest of your Saturdays or Saturdays, Sundays, or whatever day it happens to be? Because I know someone might be watching and it's already Monday. But what are y'all's plans for the rest of the day? I know that we're going to an outdoor family get-together for my girlfriend's, well, one side of her family, her dad's side of the family. I'm just going to have some fun, eat some good food, commiserate with some good people. Ah, very nice, very nice. Kebab sounds good. That's a great idea for a meal. Which streamer, if you don't mind me asking? Because I'm always looking for good streams to follow and watch. Make that a little bit more red. Arthur Gang, cool. What do they do? Are they another art channel? Do they do gaming? This red is behaving so far, which I must say, I appreciate. Because red sometimes doesn't behave on me. Oops. Ah, very nice, very nice. Well, I will have to check. I'll have to check them out. I always love marveling at other people's work. What I'm planning to do in this area is I want to do a callback to a piece that I did years ago. That was part of the part of the same series that of the painting that I showed you earlier, of adjacent. It's called Audience. It should be in like it's on my website and it's on like my Instagram, if you wanted to see what that looks like. But basically, in that particular piece, just as you step, when you're looking at it, there's a beam of light coming out of a doorway into a dark alleyway or whatever. And you can just see like someone's foot in the darkness. I want to do something similar in this piece. Which is why it's extremely important that I get the light right in this room. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, I want to do something similar to that with this one. Now, technically there is a... technically there is a baseboard all along this in the real pit, but I don't think I'm going to put a baseboard in. I don't think it needs one. I am going to get a finer brush and I'm just going to kind of like shore up these lines here because I kind of just brushed it in real quick. So I'm going to shore things up a little bit. first, I'm going to take a drink. There we go. So let's see if I can get this color back. Color matching is sometimes one of the more difficult things to do. But yeah, Ulrich, that seems like a really nice plan for the rest of your day. I'm probably going to go to bed a little bit earlier than I usually do tonight just because I'm starting my second week of work next week at this new job, so I want to be nice and fresh. And again, I know to some of you it might look like we're just painting over the same thing, but that's alright. I'm basically just straightening this line because I didn't paint all the way to the line that I drew in a lot of the cases because I had a bigger brush because I just wanted to fill this space. That was my initial goal, was just to fill this space with paint so that we could start deciding other details on the doorway. So that's what we're doing. And like I said, my goal eventually is to get a setup with 2 cameras. One that I can put like directly on what it is that we're doing, because I think that would help. That would help out some. Plus, I think it would just look cool. Okay. So that looks better. And now this edge down here is much more defined. What I am going to do is add some red and black down here to kind of diffuse that edge a little bit. And like make like a crack or something coming off of this wall. So I'm going to have that a little darker actually. Just to add some extra dimension to it. There we go. Now I'm going to paint around this edge with a darker black just to get rid of this charcoal pencil that's showing through. And also to really darken up this edge, because that's what I want with it. There we go. So I think that turned out pretty well. We're going to move on to this railing, do a few more details on it, because the railing at the end of the day is going to be here, but it's not going to obviously, like, it's not going to be a focal point, but it's just going to be one of those things where it's just is there, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's just pretty basic admin support, just administrative support, doing spreadsheets, keeping track of people's schedules, email correspondence, all that kind of stuff. Nothing too tricky or difficult, which is what I wanted, because my previous job, I was working in a warehouse, you know, which involved like heavy lifting and all that kind of stuff. And there's obviously nothing wrong with that type of work. It's important work. Quite honestly, it's work that those people don't get paid enough to do. The people who work in that industry don't get paid enough, in my opinion, for the amount of backbreaking work that you have to do. But I decided, because I was on the verge of turning 30 in March of 2020, just before the pandemic hit. But even before then, while I was working at that job, I was like, okay, I'm going to be in my 30s soon. Like, obviously this job is important, but like, I really don't want to have to like break my back in order to keep my apartment, you know, and to keep up with payments. Like, I don't want to have to be doing that into my 60s, you know. And I thought, well, if there's ever a time to make a change, there's no time like the present. So I was already kind of planning my exit at that job. You know, just doing some job hunting, submitting applications every once and again, you know. And being picky because, I mean, at the time I was employed, and it's like, okay, well, you know, I have time to like look for something. And then the pandemic hit, and because I have asthma, I decided that I didn't want to work where we'd have to deal with the public, you know, just because it's probably not the safest thing. So I went on medical leave, and then just decided from there, you know what? If there's ever a time to make a move, now's the time. So they invited me to come back, and I actually put in my resignation instead, because I was like, nah, I want to make a change here and go into something administrative, because I had worked administrative jobs before working the warehouse jobs. So I felt it was something that I could do. And I said, well, now's the time to make this change. So I did, and thankfully it worked out. Because I know it very easily might not have, you know, and things would have gone differently. But thankfully it worked out. So, yeah, I'm doing administrative support. There we go. Now we're going to come in behind here, sort of paint this in a little bit. There we go. So our railing's done. Alright, what time is it? 12:15? Alright, I'm just gonna take a quick break, go grab some water, maybe a little snack. So be gone like 2 or 3 minutes. I'll run like a tiny short little 30-second ad. Don't watch it if you don't want to. You know, it's something that I gotta do, and I'll probably complain about it every time, and I'll try to stop myself from it. But yeah, so I'll run an ad, and then we'll be back, and I'll run it during the break so that we don't miss any actual painting going on. All right, so stay tuned. I will be with you in just a second. All right, we're back. Thank y'all for your patience. I just realized that my clothes in the washer were done, so I decided to put them in the dryer before we started back up. You know, so they don't get musty. Okay. Let's get back to the canvas. I think I want to introduce a little bit of red to this black in here, just to deepen it a little further. And then we'll start working on some details over here. Yeah, I thought so, Ulrich. It's you only have one back, so protecting it as much as you, especially since I've already like hurt my back on multiple occasions, like don't really want to injure it more. But yeah, no problem. I hope your kebabs are good. Give us an update. But yeah, not a problem. Enjoy. Excuse me for just a second. The stream might lag a little bit, just for a second, but then it should go back to normal. I'm just checking something on the computer that's a little bit intensive. So. It might lag just a little bit. Okay, there we go. That should be good. Cool. All right. And I don't think the stream lagged a bit, actually. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy it. I'm glad that it's resonating with you. So, I know we're just painting this black area black again, but this time the black has a little bit of red in it because I thought it would be enough to just have the black and it would be deep enough, but I think I needed to introduce a little bit of red. It's still primarily black, but you know, I always talk about my art teacher who told us that you know, mix other colors with black because black is just flat and there's very few things in nature that are just pure black, and she's right. I just thought the pure black would be good enough for this area of the painting, but unfortunately no. Yeah, I just need to get a little bit more red paint. I think that's one of the things why I find it so hard to work with red as well, is because I find out of all of the paint colors, red doesn't last as long as the others. Like, red paint doesn't go as far. I'm very glad to hear you say that, Ulrich, because that's the vibe that I try to put into my paintings. Because I like mysteries, I like riddles, I like puzzles. I like things that make people feel unsettled, or like there's something seedier going on than what meets the eye, you know? I like that element to come through on my paintings. So I'm glad that that's what you get with my paintings. It's some affirmation, so I appreciate that. Okay, I need my smaller flathead brush again. Just because I need to repaint a line, just real quick, and figure I might as well do it now. You know, no time like the present. Oops. Should be good. Yeah. There we go. I'll probably redo that a little bit later, but for now, that's good enough. Yeah, like I was saying, one of my high school art teachers always taught us, and she was my favorite teacher, always taught us to add another color to black, even if it's just a little bit, because it helps, you know, bring more depth to that black. And I usually do. I just thought I would forego it in this case because I thought I wanted a flatter look, but it turns out I don't. So we're amending it a little bit. So this black now has a bit of red mixed in. One of my favorite things about watching other artists is seeing how techniques differ between them. Like even down to like holding a brush, because I'm pretty sure I don't, well, no, actually I'm pretty sure that I paint, like hold a paintbrush and use a paintbrush in the same way that most artists do, but some don't. Some have very unique styles and techniques when it comes to like just holding a brush, you know? I remember reading a story when I was a kid. It's probably around like 9 or 10. But it was a story, and I think it was Reader's Digest, about a woman who was a quadriplegic. There was like she was diving into some, like a nearby body of water, and there were some rocks, and she hit the rocks and became paralyzed. But she would paint with her mouth, and it would be very like delicate, like landscapes and like really detailed flowers and all that kind of stuff, which I felt amazing because I have trouble painting flowers with my hands, you know. So. Hopefully, if she's still alive, because, I mean, I was 9, and that was, you know, like 22 years ago. And she was like a little older than middle-aged when that article was done. So hopefully she's still alive and still creating. I don't remember her name. I'm sure I could Google it, because it's a pretty distinctive story. But yeah, I always find other people's processes fascinating. Put some purple into it. I have to think about that a little bit. But yeah, that is pretty inspiring. Zell, I agree. My paintings need to be worse. I think I'd sell more stuff if my paintings were worse. I'd be like the meme artist. Well, hey, you know what, Zell? Then it's tit for tat, because your Breath of the Wild skills make me feel flexed on. So I think we're even. I think we're even. Because, like, no word of a lie, you're doing stuff right away in Breath of the Wild on your first playthrough that I didn't attempt until I was like well in, like, hours upon hours upon hours in my first playthrough. So kudos to you. You are braver than I, and also more successful in those endeavors than I. Yeah, I do sell stuff. I do sell, I mean, the vast majority of my originals are for sale. If someone wants an original, I do commissions. I also sell prints. One day I'll start selling, like, I'll put, like, my painting on a mug or something. You know, so you can get a mug. Maybe a t-shirt. I'll do, like, plane wraps, like, you can wrap planes or cars. We'll delve into that. Get some of that, buku bougie millionaire money. But yeah, I do sell some stuff. It's been kind of a new thing. Because I would do, like, commissions and stuff before, but I never sold prints, so I only started selling prints this year. Thanks, man. Yeah, no, that's the thing. You know, I'm glad that it pops. But yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I just work on something until I start to hate it, and then it's like, okay, it's probably done. But no, it's you know, just working in the colors. You know, like I said, like, I added some red in behind this black, so it'll, like, actually, like, bring out some of the redness that's in the painting. Just, you know, with light and all that kind of stuff. So, you know. It's fun. It's fun. The worst part about this right now is, like, this is all still tacky wet paint, right? So it's showing up. Hey, Jake from the Woods. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. Much appreciated. Yeah, Zell, I'm planning on having something through this door that may or may not be left to the imagination. But yeah, thank you for the raid, Jake. How was your stream? How was your stream? I was lurking in there, but let's go. Yeah, so the unfortunate thing is, like, because this is still wet, like, it's catching the glare from the light, but once this dries, like, it'll be alright. Oh, which shrine was that? Which shrine was that? I think I have an idea of which shrine it is, but I won't know it by name, because I don't know the shrines by name. But if you describe it, we might be thinking of the same one. Nice, nice. Eventide. That's one thing. Actually, Zell, as I was talking about before, like, you're taking on Eventide already. Like, it took me, like, I had finished 3 of the why am I blanking on the name of these things? Divine Beasts. I finished 3 of them before I even dared to take on Eventide. Ah. I do really like the electric shrines, where, like, you have to, like, make that path, like, all through it. Like, I really do like those shrines. That's awesome. I was thinking it was the one where you have to take the blue fire throughout the entire thing, and, like, light all the lanterns, like, as you go. I was thinking it was that one, and, like, there's, like, the lake of fire underneath you. I love that shrine. Although, to be fair, you know what? I love all the shrines. The shrines were such a neat idea. Like, I love it. I loved it. You know what, though, Zell? Like, that's the beauty of this game. Like, 2 people doing the exact same area of the game and do it completely differently. Like, just the play style of the game is just. I love how open it is, and you can just do whatever it is that you want. You know, and you can do it however you want. Like, you are taking a lot of a very, like, brute force this is what getting old does, guys. Like, I'm losing my words. You're taking, like, a very brute force type of attack with your first playthrough, like, just sort of taking on enemies and, like, to hell with it. Like, if you die, you die, and you'll just go back and, like, try it again. My first playthrough was very stealth-like, because I wasn't confident enough in fighting enemies en masse that I would just kind of, like, sneak by them. You know? Yeah, I mean, 3 hearts too. Like, it's impressive. It's impressive. I think some of my favorite shrines in the game, and for anyone who doesn't know, we're talking about Breath of the Wild. And if you haven't played it yet, and you're into video games, you should. And I'll try to. I'm not going to spoil anything, in case you haven't. But some of my favorite shrines, like 3 of my favorite ones, are the Labyrinth Shrines. Those shrines are just mwah, chef's kiss. Like, the shrines themselves are just, like, reward shrines. But what you have to go through to actually reach the shrine is just wonderful. you can't do what you wanted without dying. Hey, that is fair enough. That is an excellent way to play the game. And yeah, Jake, the wind ones are good too. Yeah, I would have to sit down and like watch a video with all the shrines to determine which one is my absolute favorite, because I do have a favorite. I do have a favorite one. I just can't think of the name or where it is right now, or even what's involved, because it's been a while since I've been through all the shrines. But actually, Jake, you'll appreciate this. My favorite one is golf. And by favorite, I mean least favorite. Oh, man. Guys, anybody who knows me in real life knows that I don't rage. Like, I'm not naturally an angry person. I probably don't display enough anger when I'm feeling upset about something, but I'm not quick to anger. I'm just like my parents. Like, my parents didn't yell at us unless they were trying to get our attention and we were outside, right? Like, my dad doesn't yell. My mom never yelled. You know, very even keeled, very, like, it took a lot to, like, get them angry enough, and it only happened on 1 or 2 occasions where they actually, like, raised their voice, right? And I'm much the same way. The golf shrine in Breath of the Wild, I was this close to my first ever rage quit on that shrine. Like, that's the only shrine I like the shrine as a whole, because the only reason to do that is to get, like, the extra treasure chest in there, right? And I'm a completionist, so I like to try and do everything in a game. So the only reason that I was doing the second half of that golf shrine was to get that, and that was probably the most frustrated I've ever been in a video game. But we got it. And now, because I'm doing the Master Quest, I get to do it all over again. You know, not counting the other playthroughs that I've done of the game in the regular quest. But alright, so you can see as this is starting to dry, it is a deeper black than it was. We're working on this area here. Same thing. I want it to be a bit deeper, so I added some red before I added in the rest of the black. And now we're going to just do some very, very faint details on these on this doorway here. Very faint. Because it is a ways away from this light source. So oops. There's a little bit of white on my brush that I didn't know was there. Which I love it when that happens. There's a paint color on your brush that you don't realize is there until you lay it down. Well, I mean, hey, that's the way to do it, especially when you're playing a game in which there is no wrong way to do something. Like, attaboys, though. That's the way to do it. There is no wrong way in Breath of the Wild. So, like I said, we're just working on some very, very light details on this doorway back here. Exactly. I mean, breaking the boundaries of the game and like what can and can't be done, like that's half the fun. You know? Like that's what open world games and RPGs are for, you know? Just messing around. Exploring limitations and all that. At least that's what I think they're for. Yeah, yeah. It's a good feeling. It's validating. It's like, you know, one of the coolest things about Breath of the Wild is like watching someone play. Like it's happened with you, Zell, when I've watched you, where it's like it never would have crossed my mind to try that way, and yet here we are. This person's doing it and it worked. I'm gonna have to try that next time. You know? It's really cool. All right. So I did decide to actually put a little bit of red on the front of this double door. I was going to keep it all black, but I think adding just a little bit of red in the middle will help with a little bit of realism, because it is far away from the source, but at the same time, it's close enough. Just adding a rough little handle that we'll clean up at a later date. I suppose I should put a handle on the other door that you won't be able to see as well, because it's in an area that's black already. But hey yo, Kidney Gamer, welcome on in. How you doing? How you feeling? Lurking while working. Well, I appreciate the lurk, my friend. We do have a lurk command. You know, just the exclamation point lurk. But since you're new, I will gift this to you because I sing this every single time someone lurks. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Ooh, that one was a little pitchy, but that's all right. But yeah, welcome in. Glad to have you here. And I get to thank you personally for the follow now. Yo, Jake, you didn't have to do that. Thank you for gifting a sub to Kidney Gamer. Kidney Gamer, enjoy the emotes. They're placeholder emotes right now because I'm creating some, but I figure I should probably create some because I've been an affiliate for a while and hadn't made any emotes yet, so enjoy. Ha! Well, the anonymous didn't work. But thank you, I appreciate that. Oh yeah. There's so many different solutions to the shrines. Like it's amazing. Like there's literally like nothing in the game that you can do wrong. There's just stuff that's going to take you longer to do if you do it that way. You know, as opposed to the way that the programmers might have suggested you do it. But it'll still eventually work. God, I can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2. Like, Breath of the Wild was my first ever Zelda game, and it got me hooked. Like, I cannot wait for Breath of the Wild 2. Even if it doesn't end, like, and I hope that it doesn't end up as, like, a carbon copy of Breath of the Wild, but I can't wait to see what they do with it, you know? Cannot wait to see what they do with it. Well, I thank you guys for thank you for coming in. I appreciate you, and yeah, welcome in. Hopefully, hopefully this ends up being a great stream for you, like the stuff that we do here. Okay, so I don't know if I can bring this. No, it's still going to be kind of glary, isn't it? Let's see if I can, how far I can stretch this. Yeah, it's very faint, and it's going to be like the glare is getting to it. But we do have some door handles here now. So, hopefully as the paint dries, that'll come through a little bit better. Yeah, something completely new, like even like story-wise, like if they did it like the transition over from Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask, because Majora's Mask had a lot of the same elements and same models and all that kind of stuff, but it was a completely different story, like completely different tone to the game as well. I think that's what I'm interested in with the new game. If they introduced kind of like a Majora's Mask tone to the game, sort of like creepy and like kind of like, oh, something terrible is going to happen if we really don't succeed here. I'd be really interested to see what they do with it. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. I can't wait for that game. Okay, so we still have a little bit of time here. So I think I'm going to put in the bones of what I want to do and define later. Yeah, it being open world would be key, and having the core mechanics. Yeah. Which I think, based on the trailers, it will have that stuff. I'm pretty sure, based on the trailers, it'll have that at the very least. Also, guys, forgive me if the stream lags for a second. Again, I'm doing something on the computer, just real quick, on my other computer, but it's a little bit intensive, so hopefully it doesn't lag anything too much. Just bear with me. Okay. Just reading through these messages here. Yeah, Ganon being in it. But yeah, Ganon would be key. Well, not key. It would be cool if he wasn't in it too. But like doing something different with him would be interesting, I think. Okay. So, I'm going to lay in the bare bones of something that I want to put in. Ooh, I want to hear this idea. Lay it on us. Ooh, you know what, Zell? I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Thankfully, what I'm doing right now is just bare bones, so we can change it later. Because I'm not quite sure I captured the shape that I wanted to. But, thankfully, it's just paint, so we can paint over it later. Yeah, I think I might move that, actually. But, you know what? Not a bad place to end this, not a bad place to end this stream, I think. And again, that's all wet, but tune in next time to see what that ends up being, I guess. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I do like those ideas too. Of like Hyrule only being decayed in some parts and it's starting to like revive itself to a greater extent. I just would love it if part of it. I would love it if part of it had like If Zelda was playable in parts of it, that would be cool too. Much like Princess Peach in Paper Mario. Hey Ulrich, thank you. I'm glad you found it relaxing. I'm glad you joined us. So yeah, this is our painting so far. This is what we got going on. I'm liking how it's turning out. This area here, because I'm putting something in the darkness, I'm not quite sure how that's turned out. You know, I'm not quite sure how that's turned out, but you know what? We can always fix it later. So, right quick, what we're going to do... Actually, I don't even have to look it up because I know what we're doing here. I will move the camera here, though. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. I really do appreciate it. We're going to be back here on Tuesday, and then on Tuesday I'll update everybody what the Christmas plans are, because I'm probably not going to do a stream on Christmas because I won't be here. We're going to be visiting family. And then the following Tuesday, we're going to be visiting family as well. So it's probably going to be 2 days that I don't stream, like basically like a week off, and then, but we'll get into the nitty gritty on that on Tuesday, and then I'll reaffirm it on Thursday. But we're going to be back here on Tuesday at 6 p.m. again. So hope you can make it. Thank you for coming out this time. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the follows. I really do appreciate it. Right now, though, we are going to go raid a friend of mine. If I could type this right. Jess Draws Ducks. She's a very talented illustrator, very talented watercolor painter. And right now she's working on some drawings and paintings for a 12 Days of Christmas project. She's really cool, really chill. She's pretty funny. And I actually did a show with her 3 years ago. We had a group show, and she and I displayed some stuff. That's where I met her. But yeah, really cool, really awesome artist. So we're going to go say hello to her. Yeah. Yes, indeed. So I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. I hope it's relaxing. I hope it's fun. I hope you enjoy what you're doing. And we will be back here on Tuesday. So everybody have a wonderful rest of your day and take it easy. And thank you for coming in again.